Welcome to the September 2023 market update for Las Vegas resale condos and townhomes. I'm Justin Miller with the Chong Miller Group. At the Chong Miller Group, we help people buy and sell homes, including condos and townhomes. We help people build wealth through real estate. So it is now late summer. We're almost in autumn. And how is the condo and townhome market holding up here in the Las Vegas Valley? We are in some manner 18 months into what has been predicted to be calamitous, collapsing, depressing times by most of the commentators out there. We are 18 months into a period of time that I had said was going to be interesting, but was not going to be negative or problematic for the housing market. And where do we stand? Well, we stand at a point that's kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and dive right in, starting with condos. Every month when I do the market update for condos and townhomes, I look at condos first, I then look at townhomes. There have been recent headline information indicating that prices in condos and townhomes have never been higher, and other stuff that's just frankly wrong. But there's some really encouraging news, and I want to talk about that encouraging news. I also want to caveat that with the actual understanding of what's taking place in the market. Some of it's good, some of it's challenging. All right, condo prices. Condo prices actually interesting, $234,750. That's a median sale price for condos in the Las Vegas Valley. Now, for those of you who have not been watching my videos for a while, let me just note, condos is a category, does not include high rises. High rises are separated out into a different category. And in fact, for those looking for information on high rises, please contact me. I can talk to you about particular buildings. Each of the high-rise buildings in Las Vegas are so unique vis-a-vis each other that it does not make sense to talk about a singular high-rise marketplace. The market does not cohere in that kind of manner. But high-rises are also omitted from the definition, the Las Vegas Valley Realtors Association definition of condos. And so these are your average run-of-the-mill condos that are scattered throughout the entire valley that a lot of people make home or a lot of people invest in for a variety of reasons. Condos, $234,750, August of 2023. This number is up $4,750 from $230,000 at the end of July of 2023. That is up 2.1%. Now, interestingly, at the end of August of 2022, where we had been coming off the peak price that had been achieved in May of 2022, we were coming down. Well, August of 2022, we were also at $230,000. So over the past 12 months, we are up 2.1% on condo pricing in the Las Vegas Valley. And this is not list pricing, these are sold prices, median sale price. That's pretty good. No collapse in the market here. Actually, the market's going up. Now, the market is down from May of 2022. We're not at record pricing, but we came down throughout the second half of 2022. We were down in January of 2023. We've recovered to the point where now we are actually up 2.1% over the past 12 months, and will continue in all likelihood to go higher on a median price basis. It may not be a direct run. There may be some fluctuation in here, but this is kind of interesting. Last month, townhomes became the very first category of housing in the Las Vegas Valley that saw year-over-year gains. Now we see this in condos. Condo prices have recovered to the extent that we're actually up 2.1% year over year. Now, interestingly, as related to single family homes, which is approximately 90% of the entire housing market in Las Vegas, we're doing better. Single family homes at the median are down 0.3% year over year. So we're about 2.5% better off on condo recovery over this past 12 months than we are on single family home recovery. So just an interesting side note. Now, of course, it doesn't matter if prices are going up if there's only one condo that sells. So we want to see that there's actually activity in the market. And there was activity in the market. There were 314 closed sales for condos in August of 2023. This number is down. It's down 16 units from the 330 condos that closed in July. So we're down 5.7%. We are also down from the 344 units, 30 units down from what we saw in August of 2022. Is the market was deteriorating. We are certainly clawing our way back, but we are down 8.7% from where we were 1 year ago in terms of sales. So that's interesting. That suggests maybe, at least as a singular data point, there's some weakening of demand. Well, we can also look at demand as manifest through pending contracts. Pending contracts are those contracts that have been written on a property. So a buyer has made an offer to a seller is accepted with negotiation or without, has accepted the offer, and a contract has been written. That's a pending contract or an escrow, and that exists generally about 30 days until the property closes, becomes a closed sale. So obviously some escrows last a little longer, some escrows fail and do not become closed sales, but pending contracts, strong statement that a buyer and a seller actually want to negotiate into, in fact did negotiate into, strong statement, buyer and seller want to conclude a deal and actually change the ownership on the property. 351 pending contracts were written in the month of August of 2023. That's up. It's up 17.0% from the 300 that were written in the month of July of 2023. So that's actually a really encouraging number. Yes, we are down 16 units closed, but we are up 51 units into written contracts. We are actually up 20.6% from the 291 that were written in August of 2023. So this is a really encouraging sign as related to demand. And of course, demand exists in the present environment. So that is with all of the activities that are taking place in the environment, including the current interest rate structure that exists in the environment. Pending contracts are being written. They're being written better than they were earlier in the summer, and they're being written better than they were last year. And they're being written better even than closed contracts in the month of August. So that's actually good news looking forward. That's the demand side for condos. What about the supply side? Well, it's another story. 641 for sale in the Las Vegas Valley at the end of August of 2023. That is down 7.9% from the 696 that were available for sale at the end of July. This is the 11th straight month of really significant drops in the level of supply in this market. We are actually not just down for the past 11 months, but we're sitting considerably below half of normal inventory in this market. So inventory, really problematic, and inventory is that supply side of the market where we've got the demand side with contracts written and closed. Inventory is the supply side. Well, supply is also impacted by newly listed resale condos. This is new sellers coming into the market saying, well, wait, I want to sell my condo. For whatever various reasons sellers have to sell. They want to move to a new place. They need to move to a different location. Or they're just testing the market to see what's actually going on. Whatever the motivation is of the individual sellers, they list their properties for sale. These are newly listed resale units. 418 newly listed for sale units in August. That is up a little bit. It's up 5.8%, or 23 units from the 395 that were listed in July. It is down, however, interestingly, 25.0% from the 557 newly listed condo units that we saw in August of 2023. So actually, even though we're up 5.8% month over month on new listings, this number is not enough to even hold inventory level, and that's why we saw inventory come down 7.9%. So these newly listed properties that came in August, they count in that August inventory number. So that August inventory number came down 7.9%. New listings not even holding inventory flat. Inventory continues to come down. Problematically, because we've got buyers out there looking and writing contracts, and they're meeting with fewer and fewer for sale, including newly listed, opportunities to get into a contract. And they're competing with each other on these condos that are actually listed for sale to be able to try to make a purchase. That's pushing prices higher, and we saw that even with increased interest rates. Interest rates in August of 2023 ended average 30-year fixed rate loan at 7.31%. We are literally 2 points higher, 197 basis points higher than what we were last year. At this time, interest rates are really high relative to where they've been any time since the year 2000, actually. So in almost a quarter century. So even at those high interest rates, prices went up. Why did they go up? Because buyers are looking, they're writing contracts, they're closing those contracts, and there's not much inventory out there. Note this because it's really important. We'll note also something I've been talking about for the past couple of years. Back on market. These are failed contracts. Buyer seller went into a contract, they are a pending contract. Instead of closing, some contracts will fail. The number that failed condo contracts in August of 2023, 173. That's 35.5% of the condo market, of the condo written contracts, failed in the month of August. That's more than a third of all the contracts that were written. It's a really elevated number. Normal failed contract numbers, back on market numbers, are in the 10 to 12% range, maybe peaking to 15. We're double, we're actually way more than double that during the month of August of 2023. This is a problem. Make sure when you're talking to a real estate agent, whether you're a buyer or a seller, that you're understanding the implications of a failed contract, that you're understanding what's generating failed contracts, and that there's a plan in place to deal with the significant probability of a failed contract. Because it's hugely consequential to you, whether you're a seller or a buyer. So whether you're talking to me or talking to another real estate agent, please pay attention to this. Well, let's go ahead and turn our attention now to townhomes. Before I do, please, if you're new to this channel, subscribe, smash the like button, smash the notification bell, and share these videos with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, anyone you think might benefit by the insights that are provided in my videos. and by the analytical manner in which I go through the information. I'd love to talk with you, or whomever it is you send to me as a referral. I'd love to be able to help you through the process. Townhomes, median sale price, $320,000. Now, this number is actually down. It's down $5,000 or 1.5% from the 325 that was achieved in July of 2023. Townhome prices actually came down in August. They'd gone up for condos, but they went down for townhomes. Now, I noted at the top of this video that condos now have achieved a level higher than where they were 12 months ago. That's definitely interesting. Townhomes had done that the prior month in July of 2023. Well, townhome prices came down in August of 2023, but they also came down a year ago. And so we are actually flat relative to where we were 1 year ago in August of 2022, $320,000. August 2023, August 2022, flat. So no change year over year in townhome prices. In a year that so many have been talking about how things were going to hell in a handbasket, prices will be collapsing, people will be losing their properties, their clothing, their pets, their cars, everything. Nope, condo prices went up, townhome prices are flat. And by the way, single family home prices down 0.3%. Hasn't been a bad year in the real estate market. There's nothing that one could objectively point to and say the past 12 months have been bad in the Las Vegas real estate market. It is possible, these are statistics, so they are global in nature. You might find an anecdote, an individual person who has suffered in the marketplace. Definitely can happen, but on an economy-wide, Las Vegas Valley-wide basis, the real estate market has been completely fine. So that's price. What about sales? Have there been any townhomes that have actually sold? Like with condos, yes, absolutely. 240 townhomes closed, sold in August of 2023. This number is actually up. It's up from the 228, or up 5.3% from the number that sold in July of 2023. Condos came down a little bit. Townhome sales went up a little bit. This is interestingly down 5.9% from the 255 that was achieved last year in August. Pending townhome sales, 204. That is down. It's down 13.6% from the 236 that were pending in the month of July. It is down the same 13.6% from 236 that were pending in August of 2022. Now, this is interesting. It's interesting actually kind of for two reasons. One, the comparison between condos and townhomes. Everybody else who's out there presents the multifamily market segment, condos and townhomes combined. And I have in my prior videos noted time and time again, it's actually completely incorrect. It's like talking about the market for fruits as opposed to talking about the markets for apples and the markets for oranges. Apples and oranges may be impacted disparately by weather phenomenon, by demand phenomenon, by whether the breakfast industry is doing well, by whether the school industry is doing well. There are different things that impact each of these two submarkets of housing, and looking at them as a combined entity actually does a disservice because you're trying to combine two dissimilar populations. Looking at these populations, condo prices up from where they were a year ago. Townhome prices flat from where they were a year ago. Condo sales came down from where they were a year ago, but pendings went up. Townhome sales up from where they were a year ago, and pendings down from where they were a year ago or the prior month. These are important distinctive characteristics of these markets, and analyzing the markets as a collective, multifamily housing, doesn't actually lead to any kind of accurate understanding. In fact, it just creates confusion. It clouds what's actually going on and hides from sellers really valuable information about how they should be thinking about the market when they're pricing their properties, and really confuses buyers when they think about what should I do with regard to this property that I may like that maybe I want to put in an offer. It's important to disentangle the different populations and look at them separately. But of course, the other interesting way that we can think about this number with regard to townhomes is that we've got sales up, pendings down. We have a demand picture which it'd be hard to argue is super strong, but it would be easy to argue is holding up. And it's holding up in the face of these increased interest rates. So demand certainly continues to exist in the townhome market space, just as we saw it existing in the single family home space and in the condo home space. And by the way, the condo and townhome video is this video. There's also a companion single home video that you can go and watch. I go into a lot more depth and detail into a number of the discussions in the single family video, but you also got the comparisons there. All right, that's demand. What about supply? 420 townhomes available for sale at the end of August 2023. That's up 3 townhomes, or 0.7% from what we saw in July of 2023. So approximately flat. This maybe is the end of a strong 10-month downtrend in inventory. We've seen 11 months of really depressing downtrend numbers in inventory in condos. We've seen 10 months, because it started a little bit later, of really depressing, strong downtrend numbers in single family homes. And because maybe townhomes are turning the corner a little bit earlier. Remember, they were the first segment in July of 2023 to show prices going higher than they had been 12 months ago. Even though they've come down a little bit and they're flat with where they were last year, townhomes experienced that pricing issue earlier than any of the other market segments. Maybe townhome inventory is starting to recover. And maybe this is a prognosticator for what will take place in the other housing markets, but the other housing markets still strong downtrends in inventory. We're approximately exactly flat. We're up 3. We're approximately exactly flat for inventory in townhomes. Nonetheless, we're well below 50% of what normal inventory should be for townhomes. Now, what about replacement inventory? Newly listed resale townhomes coming into the market. 279. That's up 7.7% from the 259 townhomes that come in July. It's down a pretty staggering 40.4% from the 453 newly listed resale townhomes that came in August of 2023. Last year's numbers are interesting, but there is a comparison maybe not particularly helpful. So we've got newly listed townhomes actually came up a little bit, 7.7%, but in reality that's only 20 townhomes. And inventory, again, came up 0.7%, or 3 townhomes. We may be seeing in the townhome market a flattening of the inventory downtrend. Maybe we've actually started to put in a bottom on inventory. That'd be great. The only problem is we're putting in an inventory that's just over 2 months worth of supply, about 2.1 months worth of supply, when a normal market, a normally functioning market, is between 5 and 6 months worth of supply. So 3 times the kind of inventory that we have now. It'd be great if we're actually, bottoming out on inventory. This has been the hidden story of this year of 2023. It's something I put into my market forecast video in November of 2022. Is being something to watch, pay very close attention to, and almost no one watched it, almost no one paid close attention to it until about 30 days ago, is this inventory. And now that other people are starting to watch it, it'd be funny if that's where it turns and sort of bottoms out. It's still a problem. We have too little inventory, but hopefully the inventory has stopped going down. We really need to have townhomes to sell because clearly we've got demand on townhomes. And as interest rates start to come down, we're going to see that demand not just materialize, it's already there, but we're going to start to see that demand blossom and we're going to start to see pickup in pricing. So something really important to pay attention to. And as my regular viewers, those of you who've been watching every month, you know I've been paying attention to this inventory issue all along so that you are also paying attention to it on an ongoing basis. Now, the one other statistic back on market, 94 townhomes came back on market. Those are contracts that were written, pending contracts, came back on market in August of 2023. That's 28.1% of townhome contracts failed. Very elevated. It's not nearly as bad right now as the 35.5% of condos that came back into the market, but it's still very high. It's actually slightly down from 31.9% that we saw in July. Still about twice what is normal for back on market. So please pay attention to make sure you're talking to your real estate agent, whether that's me or someone else. What's the plan to deal with the causes of back on market? What's the plan to deal with a back on market that maybe materializes within something you're actually trying to do? What's the plan to try to minimize the likelihood of a back on market issue occurring? Because there are things you can do prospectively, proactively to minimize the potential for a back on market. Okay, again, please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and please share these videos with your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, your family, whomever it is that you know might be interested in engaging in a real estate transaction or who you think might benefit from the knowledge contained in these videos. I am Justin Miller with the Chong Miller Group. At the Chong Miller Group, we help people buy and sell houses, including condos and townhomes. We help people build and preserve wealth through real estate. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.